Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here today from my phenomenal figures. In this video today I've got a video of I'm going to be predicting who will dethrone every WWE champion right now. So that is from the World Heavyweight Champs to the mid card to the tag teams. Absolutely everything. We're going to be talking about on who I think is going to dethrone every champ in the video today. We're going to start with we'll probably start with like the smaller titles and we'll work our way up. So yeah, I've never done this video. I've never done this video before. It's a different kind of video. I was going to do it with figures, but then I just thought, you know what, I'll do it like this. And yeah, this is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing main roster champs, no NXT champs in this video. Shout out to Santi's app. I did see him do this video. Like, he does it a lot, and I thought Santi's app does it, so I thought it'd be a cool video to try out and do. So in this video, I'm going to be doing it, and I might make it again in a month. And after Mania, we'll check how many of these actually happened. So yeah, let's get into the video. Let's stop talking. Okay, I'm going to be starting things off with the current WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders. The War Raiders, now they've had an okay title reign. Like, I've enjoyed their title reign. Like, I don't enjoy their promos and their segments, but I do enjoy their matches. They don't actually have a lot of promos and segments. They normally have, like, backstage vignettes. So they're okay, they're just, yeah, they're just whatever. But their matches are really fun, so I do enjoy their matches. They've had banger, they've had banger matches with American Made. They had a good match with them. The Judgment Day match against the Judgment Day was an absolute banger. So there's been like 2 or 3 matches. They've had good matches, right? Anyways, who I think will win the Raw Tag Team Championships? You know what? Unfortunately, I have to go with this tag team. I'm going to predict the New Day with the way that they've been going, with the way that they've been pushed ever since they turned heel. They've been actually really boring since they've turned heel, but I could see WWE giving it to the New Day. Like, I could definitely see WWE giving New Day the Raw Tag Team titles because, I mean, it's the New Day and, like, what do you expect? So, my prediction for the next Raw Tag Team Champions is going to be the New Day. Who I would actually like to win the titles would be Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio or Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio from the Judgment Day. That's just my opinion, though. So, tell me in the comments though tell me in the comments on like all the champs right now who you want to become champ. Like, comment down below who you want to be the next champs. You get what I mean. Moving on to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the current champions are DIY. Okay, so next week, DIY are actually defending their tag team titles against the Street Profits. DIY versus the Street Profits for the tag team titles in Barcelona. It's going to be a banger of a match. I actually really like DIY. I have enjoyed their title reign. Motor City Machine Guns, good match. Pretty Deadly, good match. They've had some good stuff with Los Garza. They've had like the tag division on SmackDown. I find it to be interesting. I find it to be enjoyable. I enjoy it. I like it. I think it's fun. I love Pretty Deadly. I'm a big fan of Pretty Deadly. I'm a fan of the Street Profits. I like DIY as heels. Los Garza aren't bad. Motor City Machine Guns aren't bad as either. So, like, I'm a fan of the SmackDown tag division. It's hot right now. But anyways, they're having a match in Barcelona against the Street Profits this Friday. So today's Thursday as I'm recording this video. So they could lose the tag titles tomorrow to Street Profits. I'm going to be excited for that match. And then the winners of that match face my favorite tag team, Pretty Deadly. I absolutely love Pretty Deadly, man. They're just so funny. They're so entertaining. Me and my brother and my sister, she loves them, and me and my brother and my sister, we're all big fans of Pretty Deadly. So yeah, I'm a big Pretty Deadly fan. So I actually would love to see Pretty Deadly win the tag titles, but I'm gonna predict that Street Profits don't win them tomorrow night. They might win them. Street Profits may win the tag titles tomorrow night, but I don't think that they're going to win them tomorrow night. Street Profits. I think that they're going to build it up, and I think that this is a tough one because I would love to see Pretty Deadly become the champs, but unfortunately, I'm going to predict that the Street Profits win the tag team titles at WrestleMania. We're moving on. I'm going to pick the Street Profits. That was like 5 minutes of that, so or not 5 minutes. It's already been 5 minutes, so I talked about that for a while. I'm gonna predict the Street Profits. Personally, who I want would be Pretty Deadly. I love the Street Profits, but Pretty Deadly have been more entertaining as of right now. Moving on to the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are the current champs. They just won them like the Raw before Elimination Chamber. So yeah, they just won these like literally like was it like 2 3 weeks ago now. So yeah, they literally just won them. So my prediction is going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross because I see them having a match against Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania. I completely forgot about Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They're not a tag team as of right now, but I think that they're going to make them a tag team. Looking at this tag team division as well, they have like absolutely no teams in this. Kiana Chance and Kaden Carter, are they even a tag? Like I haven't seen these on SmackDown. They're apparently on SmackDown. I'm looking through the roster right now. I haven't seen them on TV in weeks. So yeah, there's like hardly any tag teams on this division. So I'm gonna say that it is the Wyatt Six being Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. We're moving on. All right, we're moving on to our mid card champs. We'll start with the women's this time since we started with the men's with the tag team titles. Our first women's IC champ is Lyra Valkyria on Monday Night Raw. We'll start with Lyra Valkyria. Now, I was originally thinking that Becky Lynch was going to go into a match with her and Becky Lynch was going to beat her, but it just does not seem that way as Becky Lynch has not made a return, and I'm not sure when she'll make a return. Okay, we were talking about Lyra Valkyria, who I think is going to dethrone her. I had to look at the roster. There's about three options. There's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Nile. They're literally three of the only people that can win the title. They have a very small roster. I said that they should have made the mid card titles just one title, but nah, they didn't do that. They gave them two. They only needed one, in my opinion, for the division that they have. There's only really a need for one, but it is what it is, I guess. You know, two is okay. I'm gonna predict that the next women's IC champion. You know what? I'm gonna say, American Made gets some goal, and I'm gonna say they could give it to Dakota, but she's already faced her twice, so I don't know why they'd give her another match to face her. So I'm gonna say Ivy Nile. Moving on. Okay, we got Chelsea Green, the current women's United States champion. Now we got to go over to SmackDown and see who's gonna and look at the roster. They always could move over people and like bring up people, but I'm going off the roster that is currently there. And there's not a whole lot here. There's really not a whole lot. Could it be Candice LeRae? Is she an option? Jesus, there's like no one on this roster. Meechin's had like that many matches against her, which is like egregious if she wins it. Naomi, I mean, Pipper. I originally said Pipper Niven would take it off her. You know what? I'm gonna say Zelina Vega. She's like one of the only options that there actually is. So your next United States champion will be Zelina Vega. WWE hasn't gave her really a full push yet. She's been pushed a little bit, so I'm gonna predict that Zelina Vega becomes the next Women's United States champion. Moving on. The men's, we're start with the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. Now, Braun Breaker, I'm gonna go on a little rant here because I'm mad with the way that they've booked Braun Breaker. I'm actually pretty angry with the way that he's been booked. He has a match next week on Monday Night Raw against Finn Balor. I'd absolutely love to see Finn Balor win that title, but unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen, and it doesn't have to. You know, you can continue with Braun, but the booking of Braun Breaker has been terrible. It's been so bad. Braun Breaker is such a good talent as well. The guy is incredible in the ring. He's an incredible athlete. He has good mic skills, but they just never use him on the mic. He has a good look. He has a decent theme song. He has a decent gimmick, but they just don't do enough with this guy. Like literally, the potential's there, and for whatever reason, they just don't use him right. I don't understand it. The guy could be having great feuds with guys like AJ Styles, Logan Paul. There's so many different options. I had more in my mind, but then I just blanked. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Chad Gable, Finn Balor, who's there, Dominic, Dragon Lee. Like, the division is there. Karrion Kross, Ludwig Kaiser. He has had a few matches with Ludwig, so I won't say that one. Pete Dunne, Penta. you know, like they do have the division there. Now, I love Penta, but I just hope it's not him to be the next champ. He just doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. Not yet. He hasn't done a whole. He hasn't done enough to get it. I would actually love to see a guy like Rey Mysterio get this title. I don't think the guy gets enough, but I don't know if it will be Rey Mysterio. You know what? I'm gonna say that he's probably gonna lose this at Mania, and it's kind of tough to predict, really. Sheamus has not been on TV. Excuse me. Sheamus has not been on TV for weeks as well. Where is Sheamus? The mid card title. Excuse me. The mid card titles have fell off completely. So much again. Gunther was such a good champ. Then you gave it to Then you gave it to Sabi. Then you gave it to Braun. Then you gave it to Jay. Then you gave it to Braun again. It's just like a mess. Just have someone going on a good reign, like, you know, whatever happened to that? I'd actually love to see a guy like Grayson or Austin win it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna predict that the next Intercontinental Champion is going off this roster. There's really not a whole lot of options, so I'm gonna predict it's either Penta or Sheamus. I don't see anyone else winning this belt. Rey Mysterio possibly, but he's not even like he's literally in the LWO tag team division out New Day right now, so I don't know about that one. You know what? It could be Ludwig, but I just don't see them giving it to Ludwig. Sheamus has had so many chances as well, so are they really going to give it to Sheamus? Alright, you know what? They could do just Sheamus versus Gunther or Braun at WrestleMania again. I don't know where they're going with the mid card title. Finn Balor literally could win it on SmackDown with it. I don't know. I just don't see Finn Balor winning the title. So I'm going to predict Penta. My prediction is going to be Penta. Penta's going to be the next IC champion. Moving on. Alright, we got LA Knight. Yeah! Who just won the title. Yeah! LA Knight just literally just won the title on SmackDown. So, yeah, I don't see him losing it for a while. I don't want him to lose it at Mania. It should be like after that. I want to see LA Knight have a really long reign. But I gotta predict who I think is gonna win the title. Some of the guys that you have in the division are Andrade, great talent in ring, not the greatest on the mic though. Of course, he's a long range barrier, but great in ring. Carmelo Hayes, you got Damien. You got a guy like Jacob Fatu. I think he would be great for it. Montez Ford, but like he's probably gonna win tag titles. You got Santos, not the greatest. I don't mind it. Santos is good in ring, but he's just he's all right. The Miz, Tamatonga, Solo, Shinsuke, not again. You know, there's a decent division on SmackDown. SmackDown might have an overall better division than Raw, maybe in a way. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what one Roman's on in a way as well. So, anyways, who will become the next United States champion? I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and I'm gonna go with Jacob Fatu. Now, I personally think that it might not be Jacob Fatu, but I'm just gonna go with Jacob Fatu. I don't know who else they could give this to. The Miz, absolutely not. Shinsuke Nakamura, no. Solo Sikoa, I just don't see them giving it to Solo. Santos, I don't see them giving it to Santos. I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu is the next champ. Also, he also has a little feud. He also has a little bit of a feud with LA Knight. Moving on because it's been so long. I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu becomes the next champ, or it could be Jimmy Uso. It also could be Jimmy Uso, but it's face versus face, and I don't know if they're gonna do that. So it's either Jimmy or Fatu or Drew. I mean, you could go with Drew, but I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu. Moving on. I would personally have LA Knight retain at Mania, whoever he faces, but they won't have him. They might have him retain. Don't give it to Jimmy. Keep it on LA Knight. Moving on. Okay, the rant is done. Women's World Champion on Raw, Io Sky. Straight away, we're not even going to waste the time here. We're just going to predict Bianca Belair is going to become the champ at WrestleMania in the triple threat. It's going to be a triple threat between Io, Rhea, and Io and Bianca. Rhea, Io, and Bianca. Triple threat. Bianca Belair wins. SummerSlam matches Jade versus Bianca. Moving on. Because that's, like, I want to get this out of the way. It's been 15 minutes, so I'm just going to move it on. Tiffany Stratton, the current WWE Women's Champion. Now, I got to check the SmackDown roster. There's not a whole lot there. I could just pick Charlotte Flair, but let me see if I can see anyone else better than that. Like, a better choice. Because, Charlotte, again, like, people... Like, not unless they're going to give her a lengthy title reign. And in my opinion, she can just keep it. They can just keep it on her, on Tiffany. Or they could literally do Charlotte wins it here and Tiffany wins it back at SummerSlam. Yeah, they really don't got a whole lot on this roster for the next SmackDown Women's Champion. I'm gonna predict Charlotte wins it. It's like Charlotte Flair will be the next champ. It may not be a Mania, but she's gonna win the championship eventually. We got the men's champions. We got Oh my god, I went out of it. We got the champion on Raw, the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Yeet! Jey Uso's taking that title from him. Moving on, Jey's winning at Mania. No way that Gunther's winning. Our last champ we got to talk about is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He is the undisputed WWE Champion on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes. Do I think Cena's going to beat him at Mania? It's possible. It is possible. So, you know what? I'm going to predict that John Cena is your next WWE champion. It may not happen at WrestleMania, though. The only other guy I see them giving it to, other than Cena, actually, I kind of got two. They could give it to Roman. There's a few, actually. There's a few. Cody style has a lot more people that could beat it than Gunther's. I mean, Gunther's is probably Jey. Like, you know, there's no other direction I really see them going with Gunther's. But Cody, it could go Roman, it could go Cena, or it could go Punk. They're literally kind of the guys that I'm thinking. But I'm going to predict that the next WWE champion is John Cena. That was the video. It might not happen in Mania. That was the video. Thank you a lot for watching. Smash that like button. Comment down below. And if you enjoyed the video, comment down below. My Figures, out.